What you doing?
I'm washing my hands.
Yeah, but you're not wearing a mask.
I'm in my own house.
You can never really be too careful.
It's freaking ridiculous.
You thinking about putting out a video this week?
I am, but I'm stuck. I don't have any ideas.
What you thinking?
I'd like to show people how to make a stew, like a really good quality Greek stew.
Stifado?
Exactly, stifado. It was my favorite comfort food growing up. It's so awesome.
I love stifado.
I know, I'm so excited to make some today.
What kind of meat you thinking of using?
Well, you know, it's one of the most versatile stews you can make. I mean, realistically, you can make it with any meat. I'm thinking that 3 weeks into this quarantine, people are starting to dig deep into their freezers, so.
So what kind of meat you thinking about?
Goat.
Goat? Really? You ordered goat?
It doesn't matter what meat you use. The meat's irrelevant.
You have goat in the freezer and sardines in the basement.
All right, fine. You want to be an ass about it? No stifado for you.
No, wait, don't go. I was kidding. You're like a brother to me.
When I was a kid, I lived in Queens. My godparents lived in Bergenfield, New Jersey. My godfather was an avid hunter. He would invite us over, and my godmother would make the most amazing venison stew, and it was a style of cooking called stifado. That's what it's called in Greek. It's made up mostly of onions, like that's the key ingredient. And the beautiful thing about stifado is it's not limited to one type of protein. So some of my favorite stifados are octopus, rabbit, and venison are 3 of my top favorites. When you make stifado, you don't need to make it with an exotic meat. So another amazing stifado is beef short rib stifado, just outstanding. When I was walking around in my restaurant supply house, I came across some goat, and that's another exceptional stifado. So the bottom line is this: you could pretty much make stifado with any protein that you like. I think more of a darker protein. I don't think it would be made, I have never tried it with pork or chicken. I don't think it would make a good stew. But if you're gonna use a beef or a lamb or an octopus or venison or rabbit, you're gonna never forget this methodology of cooking, and you're probably gonna do it more than once a year. It's delicious.
Use a good quality avocado oil because it's high temp, and you're gonna use a generous amount. And when it hits 350 degrees, it starts to wave a little bit. To that, you're gonna put 3 large, very large, sweet Spanish onions. Give them a little bit of a stir, let the oil start to wilt them a little. This is 4 pounds of bone-in goat meat, and I add more avocado oil to that, and about half a can of this organic tomato paste as well. And you want to thoroughly coat the meat with that tomato paste and oil mixture before you add a good quality table wine to that. I use a 1/4 bottle here, and then once the red wine is incorporated into the meat, I give it another stir. You take this aluminum pan, use an aluminum disposable pan with parchment paper, because it's going in the oven at 450 degrees for a solid half an hour. And now you want to wilt those onions. You don't want to burn them, so you got to be careful, and they're just going to get more and more brown. And it takes a good solid half an hour before they become something like this, and that's exactly what you want them to look like. This is what the meat should look like when it's out of the oven, and you're gonna add that to the onions and stir everything together. Then you're gonna add another 1/4 bottle of red wine to that mix. In a coffee filter, add 4 bay leaves, followed by 3 cinnamon sticks broken up into little pieces. If you leave them long, they will break through the coffee filter. I add a 1.5 tablespoons of organic rosemary leaves, and then I add a full tablespoon of organic peppercorns. Now, at work I have silicone rubber bands, and this rubber band melted, so don't use a rubber band. If you can, use butcher's twine. Now, goat is a really lean meat, so I added the drippings from the roast in the oven to this pot, and then you want to cover the rest with water until all the meat is covered. You're going to bring it to a simmer with your bouquet garni in there, and once it reaches a simmer, you're going to want to cover it with a lid and leave a slight opening. Now these are cipollini onions. I prefer pearl onions, but I couldn't find them. They're coated with avocado oil, and I put them back in the original pan that I roasted the meat in with a fresh piece of parchment paper. That goes in the oven at 350 degrees for exactly a half an hour. And this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. You want to cook your meat till it's fork tender. Goat takes about 2 hours, so you got to make sure that it's just falling apart. I added a cup of organic crushed tomatoes to this, and I want it to be kind of red, not saucy. In 20 minutes, when it's done cooking, it's going to be brown like this, and that's what you want. Add the cipollinis and then taste for salt. Always add the salt last, not before, and how much is up to you. For a base, you can use whatever you want. I used buttery cauliflower rice. You can use regular rice. You can use pasta. You can use quinoa. Whatever you choose will be fantastic. And there you have it. Stifado with any meat that you want. Don't be afraid to give this a try. It's fantastic. The recipe is online at awarehousechef.com. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and leave your comments down below, and we'll see you again really soon.